Hi, this is Di, Bass Playing Mom, and a couple weeks ago I made a video about this amp. It's my Musicmaster Bass amp. I got it in 1982. I think it's a little older than that. And it's starting to make a noise. And so check out the video. There's an eye in the sky and you can see what the noises it's making. And I asked you guys for your help. I asked you, is my amp dead or can it be saved? And you all replied. And I'm going to read some of those replies now and have a little discussion with you guys about what are my next steps for my trusty Fender Bass amp. Jeff Mason said, have you ever changed tubes on it? Rattling could definitely be the tube rattling on a certain note, maybe the humming tube. The good news is that if the rest of the amp circuitry is good, a tube replacement should take care of everything. I don't know the circuitry on that amp to know if biasing is needed, so you may want a tech to do the replacement. Should be the cost of the tubes and 1 hour less of labor. If the amp is 30 plus years old and you've never changed tubes, I would expect that it would definitely be suspect number one. I wondered about tubes too. I'm glad you brought this up, Jeff, because that was my first suspicion, and that's why I mean, if something has to go wrong, have it go wrong on an amp that's easy to fix, right? I'm optimistic that the tubes could be fixed, but I didn't know about biasing, so it would have to be done by a tech. So I've got my mind thinking about who might be able to do that work. Now, Stephen Quintero gave me the actual name and number of someone in Corpus Christi, Texas. I am in Seattle, so I'm going to start on the Seattle side and see if I can find somebody locally before I move on to somebody in Texas, because this thing is heavy. I don't want to ship it. He did say you need new tubes. So it does sound like there's probably a tube issue. Stuart Clow asked, do you not have a local amp guy? It won't be much, easy to find because it's a hard-in fault. So yeah, I don't have a local amp guy. That doesn't mean I can't find a local amp guy. I've got a couple different resources here just in town, plus I've got all of Seattle that I can go to. But yeah, I think that's something I need to work on. Andy Sparks says, there are too many possibilities for malfunction, especially for an old amp. Loose or corroded wire, defect cathode in one of the tubes, defect circuit for low frequencies. Find a technician in your area, or you could collaborate with some YouTube channel where someone can take care of it. Andy, I think that's really smart. Can you think of a YouTube channel where they work on amps? I don't know if I know that. I have a friend not too far outside of Seattle that works on guitars. Maybe I'll ask him who he knows. Will Barnes says, if it's caps, it's probably coupling caps. Filter caps would still leave louder than normal human. Human? Hum. Autocorrect. That's gotta be hum, right? A louder than normal hum, not a normal human. I think I know what you're trying to say there. Dennis Carlson. Bad tubes, valves, and capacitors? Yeah, there's so many possibilities, aren't there? All right. Mike Taglione said, do you have a music store that you trust? Take it in. It could be one or so many little simple things, and it would be a shame to lose such a beautiful and simple 2 knobs little amp. Good luck. Yeah, it is kind of funny that my amp has 2 whole knobs. This is my practice amp though, right? I mean, for practicing, I've got my pedals. I can make other adjustments. I don't need a complicated head. Chris Thomas says, maybe something with the actual speaker, just because it seems to be more problematic with lower notes. That's what I was worried about too. I don't know if it's the actual speaker or not. K Chicago 1 says, might have a short in it. Also, could it be a tube loose or main logic board or a hissing sound? Does it have a main logic board? Somebody let me know. Here it is. Let's turn it around and look a little bit. I don't think it's that complicated. There's not a lot to look at here, some dust. But it looks like 2 main tubes, you know. And then KJ Chicago refers me to a specific amp repair place in Chicago. So I'm going to start locally first and then work my way out. Eduardo de Olivier says, I think it's a tube. I think you may be right. Ian Smith says, hey, bass playing mom, I would start with your preamp valve, which is an easy fix. You can slot a valve in the preamp section very easily as long as you keep it isolated from the supply. Duh. Most valves are produced in Russia, and I wouldn't get caught up in brand names and things. Just go with your ears. Best of luck. I'm not sure what a preamp valve is. You know, I thought to start a YouTube channel talking about, you know, playing bass, I'd have to be an expert in this stuff. But then I found out you guys like to educate me, and I appreciate it. So somebody fill me in on what a preamp valve is. Drifter Gray says, microphonic tube, perform the tap test. Open it up, use caution high voltage, and tap the tubes with a popsicle stick or just drumstick, or just get a pro to do it. I think you're on to something. Yeah, I think I should get a pro to do it. Helena Vera says the noise could be bad capacitors, and the rattling could be a microphonic tube. Anyways, I recommend taking to a competent tube amp tech. It's going to cost some, but I think it's really worth it because that's a fine old amp. It's very serviceable, unlike the newer crud that they make nowadays. This is designed for upkeep. It's designed to be able to fix it. And so I think that's important to do. I mean, I was in the 8th grade when I got it. Like, how do you give up an amp you had since the 8th grade? Like, I don't have much from the 8th grade, you know? But this I still use. Oh, he goes on to say, easy test already mentioned for microphonic tubes. Expose the tubes. All you need to do is remove a panel on the back, if that. Don't even have to remove a panel. Don't take out anything else. Tap on the short tubes one at a time, gently. Use a popsicle stick or a pencil, as they can be really hot. If you hear your tapping in the speaker, you've got microphonic tubes. Easy fix, new tubes. If not the issue, find a good amp tech locally. Shipping is expensive. Music Center might have one, but it may be better for a smaller shop. Let your fingers do some walking to save gas. Reality is the amp isn't dead, just a little sick. It can recover 100% with good tech. I'm so glad you're just sick, not dead. Yes. We all need a little taking care of once in a while. Will Barnes said, yeah, amp is shot. Send it to me and I'll dispose of it properly. Don't buy that statement. They intend to get something for nothing. Read on. If I was close enough, I'd look at it closer for you, no charge. Maybe even fix it. It could be bad tubes. Start with the preamp tubes, probably 12AX7 variety. Yeah, I think the tubes are going to be a great place to start. Ollie. On a side note, you need to watch your fretting hand and keep that wrist straight, or it's going to cause ligaments to rub and stress due to repetitive movement. It's actually my right hand I get worried about because I like the tone when my fingers rub the strings this way, and then I'll see myself and I'm actually holding the bass like this and I'm thinking, that is not ergonomic. Like, something bad is going to happen if I'm not careful. So I've been trying to turn myself this way, make sure that I'm straight on when I'm not playing something that needs like round tones. But yeah, and I gotta watch this hand too, man. Gotta take care of your body when you're playing an instrument. I am not good at that, but thank you, Ollie, for the advice. Follow along with me while I have the saga of finding an amp guy. And, you know, you gotta find the guy. And the guy can be female, but it's gotta be the guy that knows about these things. So I'm gonna find out what the word is on the street. My son works in a music store. So I'm going to check with him and see if their guitar guy is an amp guy too. And if he's not, then there's another music store in town. And I'm going to talk to them and I'm going to update you guys as we go along. And we'll get my old buddy here back in working condition. So here is a playlist of some more gear videos for you to watch.